I don't think that they were right about tariffs in President Trump's first term, in which the tariffs left no lasting mark on the economy, but generated tons of revenue that we used to help finance the president's first historic tax cuts from 2017. I think they're wrong again now. Today's data prove it. Today's data reflect the period after the president's announcement. And on top of that, if you look at the GDP data from the first quarter, investment surged 22%. That's not what firms do when they're concerned about the economy. That's not what firms do when they're reducing their output. That's what firms do when they're going to produce more. And that's what the president said, and that's what's happening. And they're not only wrong about tariffs, they're wrong about other things too. So for instance, we've heard lots of complaints that the president starting to enforce border security and make Americans safer by deporting illegal migrants was going to destroy job creation and labor scarcity. And today's data disprove it. And by the way, it's not just the headline number, it's also the details. We added 11,000 construction jobs. So we've added construction jobs every month in a row during President Trump's term, totally disproving the panic and doom-mongering that these policies would lead to disaster.
There was a story I heard about mules. There were mules delivering mail to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Which might not be a bad thing, actually.
You have the mule picture.
Yeah.
Picture, it doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah, but do we agree with the mule, or should there be mules?
I think it can be modernized.
If there's opportunity for improvement.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, I'm at the Postal Service. I think a lot of people don't realize that there's actually a law that says that the post office is supposed to have a balanced budget.
There is?
Yeah, there is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's not working, is it?
No, it's not.
So they're breaking the law.
They're breaking the law. Basically, since 2007, almost every year since 2007, they've lost money. So you might ask, what happened in 2007? So there was additional.
In 2007?
Yeah, there was additional regulation that went into place that essentially crippled them, put them down this not good path where they essentially are stuck in the past as well as bleeding money left and right. Okay. So it's great, and we appreciate that the postal employees are willing to go to the hardest parts in this country, but we think we can modernize it and help them become profitable. Right now, last year they lost $9.5 billion.
Wow. Serious money.
One of the, I think, extreme examples of non-accountability in some cases has occurred at some of the small agencies. I think the Inter-American Foundation, IAF, is one of the agencies we visited. They get $50 million a year, congressional money, to give grants. These are things like, alpaca farming in Peru, improving
That's a real example.
Yes, that's the real description. Improving the marketability of peas in Guatemala.
Really?
Fruit. And yes.
What? Yeah.
So you might expect, in the private sector, a nonprofit to give, 80 to 90% of their money to grantees. In the case of IAF, that was 58%. So the other half goes towards management, travel.
What we're defined exactly, to Ethan's example is, even if you agreed with supporting alpaca farmers, actually most of the money never made it out of DC. It's going into the pockets of people in the neighborhood.
What percentage?
And they didn't even get to Peru.
Right. So what percentage do you think doesn't even get to the destination it's...
I believe the GAO estimates, so this is not our estimate, I believe it was only 10 to 15 cents on the dollar actually gets to the end recipient, whether you agree with that cause or not.
So they're just stealing the money before it even gets anywhere.
There's the first layer of stealing, second layer of stealing, third layer of stealing.
Subcontractor.
You start peeling the onion. Yeah, exactly. Contractor, subcontractor. It's like peeling an onion. And sometimes it's zero. Just flat. You get to the bottom of the onion, there's nothing there.
So maybe no one got a sex change in Guatemala.
It's possible that no one got a sex change.